Alright, welcome back everybody. So first things first, I'm gonna apologize real quick if anything happens during the recording. My computer keeps crashing in the middle of recordings, so this is like my third take right now. I was in the third battle in my in my last recording, and then it just decided to crash on me, so I didn't even get to save the battle video up to that point. So as I'm just gonna do a quick three replays. So I'm gonna start off with my Tailwind My Wall team as usual, and another three battles shouldn't be too much of a problem anyways. Just more practice for me in general. And um, in other notes, these are teams I'm trying out. A quick rebriefing. I feel like I'm reiterating myself here, but this is another way to get some battles off for me because I'm trying to practice with these three teams because I want to see what teams I want to use in the upcoming tournaments. Like I said, there's two premier events real close, one Sunday and then one next Saturday, and then the Salt Lake City regionals are coming up as well, and I really want to go to that, and I want to know what team to take, so test out some teams, get used to them. As let's just jump real quick back into battling, and hope this goes well. I'm sorry if I sound a bit rushed. It's just been a long day, so to say. And with the computer issues, it should be better off now. If it does anything during the battle, then hey, it happens. As a Pachirisu, what can I say? That deadly squirrel. I don't know how to handle it. Other than I'm just gonna open out with my Hydreigon. Should not. Most of his team can't take an Earth power to begin with, so Hydreigon is a very strong open here. And I'm actually gonna open Gengar as well, seeing as most of his team can't handle a Gengar either. And I'm also gonna take. I can't take Thundurus because they have Volt Absorb, but Virizion should handle most of his team just well. And I'm actually gonna take Mawile for my last Pokemon to damage that Venusaur. And a Sucker Punch from Mawile will KO a Latios, so that's something to note. Unless it's got some bulk investment, for the most part, it's a guaranteed one-hit KO. Assuming it's timid or modest choice specs, either way, it should still KO. It could just be a regular Latios, but if it's choice, it's almost a dead giveaway that I can just Sucker Punch it for the KO. Something I do want to start implementing in this team, I feel like I don't have a proper contrary poke. I mean, not contrary. You know, a damn, I can't remember, competitive or defiant Pokemon, because I feel like those abilities are really useful in BGC this year. It's something you want to fear. As Hydreigon Gengar versus Arcanine and Terrakion, perfect actually. As I'm actually just gonna Icy Wind and Earth Power here. He might close combat my Hydreigon, I do not mind. So yeah, I'm gonna Icy Wind and Earth Power. Reason being, I can slow down Terrakion for Virizion, and the Earth Power should do a lot of damage here to both. As he actually might just stay in with both. Earth Power does connect. Icy Wind will not be enough to KO. His special defense does drop. As Icy Wind connects with both Pokemon, yes it does. Alright, breaking Terrakion's possible sash. He does go for the Rock Slide, but the fact that I am choice specs here, he goes for the Snarl. Clever guy. My issue is here I just can get another Earth Power off for free. I'm just gonna actually Earth Power. I'm just going for damage here, so I'm just gonna Earth Power and Sludge Bomb. Another Rock Slide should kill me, and another Snarl should kill me as well. As I get the Earth Power off, maybe I should have doubled up into the Terrakion slot, but he might just. Oh, he goes for the close combat. Okay. See, that can be dangerous because now your speed and defenses are lowered. So I'm gonna go into Virizion. He might have that Pachirisu, which could be a huge problem for me. But Leaf Blade plus Sludge Bomb should be enough to KO that thing. As he goes into Venusaur, so I'm actually not too worried. I'm gonna leaf. I'm not sure what attack I went for. I'm just gonna Leaf Blade Terrakion, and I am going to Shadow Ball. I'm actually gonna burn the Venusaur. Getting a burn off on Venusaur would be very crucial because burning Venusaur as he switches into the Milotic. But I went for a Leaf Blade into that slot, so Will-O-Wisp actually misses. Leaf Blade doing 75% to Milotic, and the Sludge Bomb. Oof, that hurt from a mile away. So I'm just gonna Leaf Blade once again, and I need to connect this Will-O-Wisp. As actually another Sludge Bomb should take out Virizion. As it protects. Okay, but I do get the Wisp off. Does it land? It does land, and I do miss my. I do not. I should have Stone Edged for or switched out. Actually, I could have switched out. In theory, I could have switched out into Mawile that turn, but I'm still gonna. So assuming my Lodic is 0 investment, I can actually pick up the KO with Mawile this turn. And I do boost its competitive ability, but I'm gonna Mega Evolve, go for the play rough. I should be faster than my Lodic this turn. And I am going to Shadow Ball Venusaur. I don't got much else to do. Terrakion is in Sucker Punch KO range as well. So there's many things I can do with these Pokemon this turn. That Snarl is affecting my Gengar quite a bit right now, but I feel like the burn damage in the end will be more than he can handle, as I do pick up a special defense drop, and the play rough does connect, KOing as he gets his leech seed off. Ooh, that might be a trouble. But the great thing is, this Mawile does not have a lot of health investment. So the beauty about this is he is in my, well, just in case he's not, I'm actually going to double up into that slot with a Shadow Ball and a Sucker Punch to take out Terrakion. Reason being is Venusaur can't handle Mawile on its own, unless he's got the Sleep Powder. But from the looks of it, it's probably just a Protect, Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, and Leech Seed set. So a double into Terrakion here should help me pick up the KO. As he protects the Terrakion, that can be trouble. As yeah, I'm going to lose my 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 I forgot my Gengars. Sorry about that. I do tend to forget from time to time. So damage calculations. You know what? I'm actually gonna open up a damage calculator. Sorry about that, guys. As it's taking a while to load here. Alright, so I'm gonna type in Mawile, Common Showdown, which is typically the Mega Mawile set, and Terrakion, Common Showdown. As a Sucker Punch, max 33%. Terrakion, that's about a third of itself. It's gonna be a damage roll, guys. So let's go for it. As he goes for the quick guard. Oh wow, he got me good. Oof, that is, oh my god, wow. Yeah, that's on me now. Smart by my opponent. If I'd play rough that turn. So I'm actually going to, you know, I gotta go for it, guys. I am a stubborn person. I will go for that same play twice in a row, even though I just countered it. Sucker Punch connects, does not pick up the knockout. Ooh, and Terrakion finishes me off with a close combat. It was a damage roll, guys. I feel like it was a 1% damage roll here or there. So Terrakion actually took, I'm estimating maybe 29 to 32% of its health. So it does happen from time to time. Hey, that's the battle. If I had predicted that quick guard the turn before, I more than less would have won the battle. Or maybe like if I had Iron Head the Venusaur. Well, that's the game. Good game to my opponent. Alright, now let's look for another battle here. Oh wow, let's actually look for a second battle with the same team. My bad, guys. I know I shouldn't have done that, but hey, it looks like it's going to be a 4-battle episode today then. As my opponent's team kind of does worry me here, but I'm still going to open... Amoonguss does worry me. So I'm actually going to open with Thundurus and Gengar here, seeing as I can hit most of his Pokemon effectively. Taunt him, burn him. Not much you can do here. I will be taking I want to take Mawile for effective damage on all his Pokemon. The issue is I don't want to bring Virizion, even though Virizion hits so much of his team so hard. I'm actually going to bring Hydreigon for the late game because Hydreigon can hit that Aegislash a lot harder than most of my own team. Sorry for if you guys see a pop-up there. It's more like an update reminder, I guess. You know, I do need to make some updates on my laptop. Happens from time to time. And, you know, I feel like by not bringing Virizion, even though Virizion hits 1, 2, 3 of his Pokemon, technically 4, but the Talonflame can't hit me before I can hit it. So I don't want to take a Brave Bird to Virizion. And that Flare Blitz can be a problem. I do have Suicune for that reason, but then I feel like, you know, not bringing Virizion might be a problem, but assuming that my Lodic has no speed investment, Mawile should be able to outspeed it as he opens with his own Thundurus here. Alright, this is actually perfect for me, because I'm actually going to double up into Aegislash. And, oops, I almost clicked Sludge Bomb. As this actually might be enough to KO the Aegislash here. Let's hope he doesn't predict this and go for a King Shield. He might Thunder Wave and Shadow Ball. The double up should be enough to KO here. Well, this isn't exactly the most heavily invested in the special attack Thundurus, as I actually have invested more into pure bulk. In retrospect, I do love this set because it can take 2 to 3 hits from almost any angle. which is something I genuinely want from a Thunderous. 2 to 3 Thunder Waves is very important. Slow down a lot of your opponent's team. As my opponent's taking as he taunts, but I actually go for the Shadow Ball and the Thunderbolt, as it actually might not KO here. I'm a little worried, as the Thunderbolt does not pick up the knockout. Yeah, so the Shadow Ball does KO mine, and I'm gonna end up paying big for that. So I'm actually gonna go into my Hydreigon here, because I can get Draco Meteors and Dark Pulses off. I'm actually gonna lock myself into the Dark Pulse, seeing as most of his team can't take a Dark Pulse to begin with. Dark Pulse, and I'm actually going to. I can't Will-O-Wisp, so I'm actually going to. As he's actually gonna King Shield. I can predict a King Shield here. So I'm actually gonna Sludge Bomb and Shadow Ball the Thunderous. Might not be enough to take it out. Sludge, as he actually switches out into a Moongus. Good switch. But Sludge Bomb plus Dark Pulse should do a reason as I get the crit. With the crit. And that does a lot of damage. So I'm very safely going to Icy Wind this turn. So slow down any of my opponent's Pokemon. As wow, that crit did matter. I'm not gonna lie, that crit mattered. Icy Wind should do reasonable damage. I don't think he's gonna predict me to Icy Wind this turn. So in case he switches out for that Regenerator boost, Icy Wind should do chip damage to anything coming in. And Dark Pulse. See, Dark types just give you some amazing coverage. Always keep that in mind. Dark types give some of the best coverage around. The only thing Dark type hits every type actually. It's just resisted by Fairy nowadays. I think the only resistance to Dark is Fairy and Fighting, which seems pretty well balanced in the first place. Back then it used to be Steel that resisted Dark type, but in Generation 6 they took that away. Mainly, honestly, it was to nerf Aegislash. As yeah, I should have seen that coming. As I do not KO there. Ooh, why did I Icy Wind? I forgot that Hydreigon was faster. But with my taunt over, I can actually switch into Mawile here. Easiest way, as fun as may remind you, Gengar still have its Focus Sash. So as it is, as my opponent's last Pokemon is Talonflame here. Wow. All right, now I'm not gonna predict. I can predict into Brave Bird, but he most likely will Flare Blitz. So what I'm actually gonna do is protect, and I'm going to Sludge Bomb Talonflame because this will KO Talonflame. As yeah, I can't risk him Flare Blitzing my Mawile slot. So yeah, he Flare Blitzes into the Gengar slot, not picking up the KO. Sludge Bomb picks up the KO though, and he stays in shield form as he just finish off my Gengar. This is problematic because I do not have any damage off on the Thunderous, and if I had damage off on Thunderous, question is what's Aegislash gonna go for here? So most than likely it's gonna King Shield. Regardless, I'm actually going to play rough. Can't get the. See, this is a hard play because here's where the prediction is gonna make the play. I know I'm faster than Aegislash. He might just find a way with Flash Cannon. So I'm actually gonna Iron Head Aegislash. I know I shouldn't be doing a play like as he King Shield. Oh wow, I should have gone for the play rough like I wanted to. Yeah, that's gonna be match, guys. I should lose this one as well, as I'm just gonna Sucker Punch Aegislash here. Not much I can do. Play Roughing Thunderous probably wouldn't have KO'd it, but it would have done some reasonable damage. In hindsight, maybe in the future I pick better moves off. Maybe I could have Thunder Waved the Aegislash instead of going for the Thunderbolt. Because as I found out, I probably wouldn't be able to KO it in the late game anyways. GG to my opponent and thank you. Now let's use my old team here. And let's look for a battle. Hindsight, yeah, maybe I could have just Thunder Waved it instead of, or maybe I shouldn't even have Shadow Balled it, activating its weakness policy. That did cost me the match, as we get a speed team here with a lot of fake out. And mind you not forget, Hawlucha's Unburdened. So it's a very, very, very fast team. What I'm predicting is maybe Hawlucha procs its Unburdened with like a Flinging the King's Rock. And then after that, get a Rain Dance off for Ludicolo. Things like that. Mega Blaziken is nerfed a little bit. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take Bisharp. And I'm going to take, I need a Pokemon that can protect here safely, or actually I'm going to take Bisharp and going to take, let's take Terrakion here. I feel like Terrakion will be great. I'm bringing Sylveon, And for my last Pokemon, I will be bringing... Last Pokemon to bring. Hard choice, honestly, seeing as my only way to hit Aegislash is Bisharp. I would need a second counter to that. But I'm going to bring Blaziken. Blaziken. I'm going to bring Salamence instead. Now I double checked right now. I did forget to put the double edge on my Blaziken once again, so I do apologize for that. As I get the right matchup. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I can actually Quick Guard and Sucker Punch here. So I'm actually going to Sucker Punch, Aegislash, and Quick Guard with Terrakion. If he attacks with Aegislash, this Sucker Punch is going to do a lot of damage to Aegislash. It has a good chance to knock it out too, given that Bisharp is Life Orb. And in case Ludicolo goes for the Fake Out here, Quick Guard should help us out. As he does go for the Fake Out, Quick Guard protects. Sucker Punch connects with Aegislash, does not pick up the knockout. Oof, as the Flash Cannon does KO my Terrakion, but this is perfect because it is a Life Orb Aegislash. That means it will go down to its own recoil damage, so I can safely send out Sylveon now. And Bisharp might go for the Wide Guard, but I'm still gonna Hyper Voice anyways, as I'm gonna go for a knockoff with my Bisharp into its Ludicolo. Ludicolo might be faster than me. I believe it has to be timid to outspeed Bisharp. If it is modest, it will not outspeed, or they might be at a speed tie. But more than likely, it might be a bulkier Ludicolo. If it's not bulkier, it is going down this turn. As I do connect with knockoff, KOing, and here comes Sylveon's Hyper Voice. Aegislash might be faster, but it's not because it is a bulkier Aegislash. So that's one thing you gotta notice. When an Aegislash can survive a Sucker Punch, it's more likely a bulkier set, so your Sylveon might be able to pick up quick knockouts. As we see Greninja and Blaziken here. Alright, quick thing to expect, maybe I can expect like a low kick into Bisharp and a gunk shot into Sylveon. I can't protect my Sylveon, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rotate. I'm gonna flip Intimidate. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep switching them out to process Intimidates. In case this Greninja is a physical Greninja, these Intimidates are gonna do a lot of help towards like not KOing Sylveon. And if he doesn't KO Sylveon, then that's perfect for me because a Hyper Voice will pick up KOs on him. As Blaziken does evolve, Bisharp protects, Mega Blaziken. He's actually going to combos off with the Scald, and he goes for Flare Blitz into that slot. Not what I was expecting, as it does get the speed boost. Alright, so the lower special attack might help me, but now I can predict more than likely an Ice Beam going into Salamence. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch out Bisharp for Sylveon, and I'm going to Mega Evolve and protect. There's no reason not to Mega Evolve here, but I can't sneak in a Dragon Dance just yet. If I can sneak a Dragon Dance in, it will be game for my opponent, as I do protect and Mega Evolve, as he protects as well. I protect as well, and he goes for the Ice Beam into Salamence, just as I was predicting. Alright, this is almost perfect. So I'm just going to go for a Hyper Voice here, and Gunk Shot should not KO anymore. And I'm actually going to let him stay in that form. I'm going to sacrifice my Salamence, and well, now it's kind of like mind games. So Flare Blitz does not KO, perfect. As he does go for the Ice Beam, sacrificing Salamence because Hyper Voice here will do a lot of damage to both, and should bring Greninja down to his Sash. But then I get to bring Bisharp in for free. So that was the right move as player 1 disconnects. I don't know why he disconnected there. That was the perfect prediction I needed. It was a mind game setup. So sometimes in the late game I will switch Pokemon around to get you think that I'm going to switch to avoid damage. But when I feel like the moment is right, I will come in with that prediction and KO you. Seeing from this, he can target one or the other. Either way, he's going to get knocked out. A Rock Slide from Greninja might be able to save him, but I could still Sucker Punch. Other than that, though, it's game. Predicting my opponent perfectly here in the end. Playing very, very smart despite my Salamence not having the moves that I like. Sacrificing Mega Salamence there for the win. And I know I feel bad saying that, but sometimes you do need to sack a Pokemon to get a clean switch into another Pokemon that will win you the game. In the late game, it's all about setting up the win condition. My opponent had a win condition, but I feel like me playing smart around the setup and the fact that this Greninja did not have Gunk Shot really helped me out in the end. but it was a very smart, and as he loses doing inactivity, but that was not needed. I should have picked up the win right then and there. And for future reference, I will edit that Salamence right after this recording. Alright, now let's look for one more battle with my new team. Yeah, funny how they're named, right? My old team, my new team, and Tailwind Mawile. Makes it easier for me. So let's look for a battle with this new team and hope it goes well. The new team has been doing very well for me, and it's been doing a lot as I'm just checking the video time here, and we are nearing quite a bit of time. We're at the 20-minute mark, so hey, it's not too long, but not too short. As Mr. Shiny Pokemon over here, here's one instance where I really, really do love my Tornadus. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to open Salamence and Tornadus because I can get Tailwinds off and things like that. But on top of that, I'll be able to open with huge spread damage and outspeeds. And on top of that, the Intimidates will lower the damage done onto my Tornadus. Another Pokemon I do want to bring, because he has a, as I call him, Sassy Grass, from another YouTuber. I love calling him Sassy Grass because of that. I'm bringing Ferrothorn because Ferrothorn does wall out a good chunk of his team very, very well. And for my last Pokemon, I don't want to bring Rotom because I don't want to be baited into a Leaf Storm. A Leaf Storm will be problematic for my Rotom. But other than that, he does wall out most of his team very well, and Hydro Pump plus Thunderbolt should do a lot of damage to most of my opponent's team. Sylveon is another tempting option with that Hyper Voice. If I can take out the Talonflame, Sylveon should run right over his team Hyper Voicing. Terrakion I do not want to bring. It seems like it's too much of an issue here to bring. So it's between Rotom and Sylveon. And I want to go with Sylveon because of the damage, but Rotom does handle my opponent's team very well. As you know what, I don't want to risk losing some Pokemon at some point, so I'm actually going to bring Rotom Wash because he might be more effective in the late game. And as I mentioned earlier, you want to play for that win condition. So Salamence, and as he does open Double Genie, okay, cool. So I got that Icy Wind. He does have Icy Wind, by the way. So Tornadus Therian does outspeed. And I'm actually going to Mega Evolve, and he might double up here. So what I'm actually going to do is Mega Evolve, Protect, or Dragon Dance. I feel like I can sneak a Dragon Dance in here. If he does paralyze me, by all means he paralyzes me, but that Double Edge will be doing so much damage later on, and I'm going to Icy Wind. This should do about 30% to the Thundurus and an estimated 60 to 100% on the Landorus because it's got a 4x weakness plus it is Life Orb. Most of the time it will do about 60% to the Thundurus, but the Life Orb damage does amplify with that 4x weakness, as I do get double Icy Wind off. So it does connect, and it does KO. Oh, wow, that was perfect. Perfect turn one. Not 100% sure what he went for. He went for the Hidden Power Ice. That might have cost him the battle there. As I can actually protect this turn. And, well, the issue is, you know what? I'm not going to protect here because I am faster. My goal is to get rid of the Talonflame because after that, Ferrothorn just defeats my friend's team. So I'm going to double edge the Talonflame here. And I'm actually going to... I'm not going to leave a Goodbye Tailwind. That will lower my opponent. Well, I got the Rotom here too. So I'm actually going to... tough choice. You know, I'm going to Icy Wind once again. In case Tornadus does go down, I'm going to get the Icy Wind off. Doing moderate damage to my opponent's Pokemon, and that Life Orb, Icy Wind, does do what I need, as he does not attack. So I should have Hurricaned the Talonflame here, and that does moderate damage to both. Lowering Talonflame speed here, it's not exactly what I needed, as Thunderbolt does pick up the KO. Okay, so that was a bad turn. I should have Hurricaned the Talonflame, trying to take it out, or protected my Salamence here, as I do regret that turn. As I do have Rotom, and so what I'm gonna do is I'm Thunderbolting Talonflame. I'm gonna protect here with Ferrothorn. I cannot afford to lose this Ferrothorn because he will be what takes out my opponent's team. Fundy here cannot do too much, and Flaming Talons over there is my worry. It might just be Choice Band locked into a Brave Bird right now. So he might even switch out, but whatever he switches in is taking a lot of damage. As we find out it's Sylveon. Oh, wow. As he Thunderbolts, yeah, that's doing quite a bit. Citrus Berry saving me there, as I'm actually going to Hydro Pump the Thundurus. It should pick up the knockout from this range, and I'm going to Gyro Ball Sylveon, which should also pick up the knockout from this range. Hopefully this goes well. I can't really afford to lose both of these this turn. and my concern would be handling the Talonflame in the end game. I do have Iron Barb's damage, but as he does go for the taunt, very clever there. As Hyper Voice taking out my Rotom, and my opponent should pick up the win this round. That was my fault for not focusing off that Talonflame. If I had taken out Talonflame, it would have been a walk away win for me. And yeah, as I only have Gyro Ball, and Flare Blitz should definitely pick up the KO. And it was my fault for thinking that he wasn't going to target down Thunderous with both or just Talonflame, because I was assuming he'd go for the Choice Banded Brave Bird and Thunderous, taking him out. But I did forget that Salamence was a huge threat to his team, given that it already had a Dragon Dance off. And that is GG, and congrats to my opponent. As I'm gonna check the video time here, and let's see. So yeah, we're at the 25-minute mark. That should be plenty for today. If we were a lot, if it was like 23, 22, I would definitely get another battle in. But I feel like that's plenty for today. That's 4 battles. Unfortunately, some were lost, some were won. It does happen. You know, can't win them all. And seeing the strengths and weaknesses of my team, but more so the weaknesses are falling onto me because I do make bad play calls sometimes. And hey, we can't make the perfect play every time. It's like a giant mental chess game. Well, thank you to everyone, and thank you again. I love it when you guys are commenting because I feel like you guys are engaging me more, and I'm really learning a lot more about what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. So thank you everyone, and keep up the comments. If you would love, please subscribe, like videos, share with your friends. I'm trying to build a name for myself, and hopefully I want to become well known in VGC as well. That's why I'm trying to qualify for Worlds this year and become a better player for everyone. All right, thank you guys. Goodbye. See you guys tomorrow.